bubble gum. Just have one of these. That'll be enough.
Oh, you're finally here, my dear. Oh, about time. I've been waiting for you. It's so lonely on the chat. Not even a bat to chat with me. The first live stream was a bit of a failure since only one person showed up, then disappeared, and I was left all alone. So I decided to start up another one with a much more enticing title. It's not that funny, my dear. Oh, well, I changed my mind, best friend. I quickly put in the message that I changed my mind and that I was going live. Probably didn't take the message as how I intended it to be, because I tried to say I was live now. I changed my mind since I've got some time to myself out here. I got my hair washed and told my mum you're not going live, so I said we can go straight to town. I'm so sorry about that, best friend. Sorry about that. Joker will cheat on women. It's okay. It just happens. Lazy ass, my cat. Mm. Not even visible on the live stream thumbnail. It was just a chair. Oh my gosh. Top 10 tips for drawing faces.
He's from Romero, Joe.
On the chair with her eyes closed. Mm. Strange and weirdest websites. Mm. Time for a little trip down memory lane. What are you like, best friend, you silly goose? Saying you're not going live and then you do, you silly goose. Well, best friend, I did say that I might not go live, so it wasn't a definite no. It just depended. Mom, be quiet. Oh, super password. Ah, yes, the super password. Good times, good times. The lab, Castle Machinery, Jaws of Darkness, Lights Out, Fumbling in the Dark. Where are you going, Crash? Where's he going? Going all the way back to Island 2? The only Crash game with an actual map. Joker, I don't like being your girl. Ha 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 ha. I didn't say that in order. Native Fortress. There's the first island. Upstream, Boulders, The Great Gate, Jungle Rollers, Insanity Beach. Where it all began. Now where you going, Crash? Where's he going now? He's like randomly going across the islands for little to no reason. What is going on here? At least go to a level. The Great Hole. Joker is not mine, I'm not his. I'm not his. Is someone cutting onions? This music makes me emotional. It's my childhood. My sweet childhood. It's like going back to 2008 and 2005. I think I got this far when I was very little. Every single jam that Crash collected. The castle's not burnt down and the blimp is still there. I mean, Crash did nothing. Ripperoo. Probably started my obsession with crazy characters. Nothing adorable about that koala. Still looks more like a rat without a tail. I love that you like the drawings again, where you're not expecting them. Drawings for you. No, I wasn't, best friend. Wasn't expecting them at all. Geez, for the PS1 era, these graphics were actually really good. And the animations too. Can tell they worked hard on these. Oh, that's so creepy. Get out of my face, Cortex. I used to creep me out so much. I know, best friend. You never didn't play it when you were younger, so yeah, I understand that. For me, it's not just a great game franchise, it's also my childhood. It's part of the reason why I love it so much. That's a xylophone, I think. I did play Spyro. I think Spyro and Crash are owned by the same company. I think. Was Spyro by Naughty Dog? No, it was created by Insomniac Games, published by Sony Computer Entertainment, which I'm sure also created Crash. Oh, yes. Insomniac had a very close relationship with Crash Bandicoot creator and fellow PlayStation developer Naughty Dog. Oh, I see. So they were connected in a way. Interesting. 38 years ago. The two co-founders, the original logo. Crash was the best when it was owned by Naughty Dog. Second game. Oops, I put Mad Dog. Yes, it was Naughty Dog. Crash looked like a dog. Yeah, well, he's a bandicoot, a type of marsupial.
And the game warden said I could do this. There is literally a coyote just running amok. It definitely ate one of our roosters. Kevin doesn't really seem to like the coyote, but he's in with his little heart. My adorable little Kevin baby boy. Would you like some? Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day, and there's a coyote in my property right there. Take a look at that. There is a straight up coyote.
Well, a lot of people hate coyotes, but they're just animals trying to survive.
Okay, Kevin, no, there's literally a coyote behind me. Stop. Okay, this is a literal coyote on my property.
Poor thing.
Relatively healthy and adorable. Would you like a protein shake, sir? Would you like a little protein shake for you? I have a little protein shake for you, my friend.
Animal must be
Like
terrified.
we're doing a coyote creature feature today, you guys. This little guy just showed up on the property. He's clearly scared of me. I don't think she's going to attack me. Matter of fact, I think it's a female, but look at his poop right there. It's clearly showing signs of submission. See how its tail is between its legs. It's also very, very precious. But this is a wild animal, and it could hurt you, so don't ever do what I'm doing. Finish my protein shake first, because I just woke up. Yeah, I'm really not sure how this coyote even got here without Poggers and Queen annihilating it, because I know that they have fought and killed coyotes before. Kevin is literally being more of a threat to me than that live coyote. You want some protein, Kevin? Would you like a little
Exactly.
protein, sir? A little protein for you? A little protein shake for my son, my adorable little Kevin baby. A little protein shake for my adorable little Kevin baby boy. I'm about to just start drop kicking.
That doesn't look like an emu. Is that a
Actually, I
ree?
have a poll for this. It's Cabela's and got this.
Leafy is here. Dumb name, aka Thanos Nostalgic Memories. What's up? Welcome to the chat.
Adorable little coyote. Yeah. What man won't pierce the drank? You can tell she doesn't have any kind of diseases or anything just from looking at it. But the fact that there is a coyote here during the day is a little bit of a sign that she might have something wrong with it. Nice little bite on my glove. You're an adorable little thing. You're so cute. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use.
Be careful, that's a wild animal.
Trained wildlife professional, and I have dealt with coyotes in the past. Really not that hard, you guys. You simply have to just kind of put this.
It's probably gonna freak out.
Their neck here. I'm literally doing this with one hand. Hey, it's me editing, Ben. And again,
It's frozen there because it's probably terrified out of its mind.
Pull this thing here to cinch it. For the sake of the video, I'm gonna show you guys how I do
This
it.
guy really knows what he's doing.
This here. Okay, now it's cinched and the lock is on. As you can see, I now have this around her neck. She can't get any closer to me than I want her to right now because I have this little thing here holding. She wanted to go crazy, go stupid, and start attacking me. She could, but she's not going to because I have this little thing here. So I'm gonna move her to a cage where I can just get a closer look at her. I'm sure she's not sick or have any issues.
Joker, let me out of your stomach. It's no home for me.
Okay, she's definitely submitting now. She's a little bit weak, and it looks like she's a little bit dehydrated, maybe a bit emaciated. From the
Whoa, it's not even trying to attack
I
him.
think someone that doesn't seem
Probably the calmest coyote I've ever seen.
Coyote very much. Yeah, I went ahead and put it over here in this little temporary holding area for now.
Yeah,
I did
it's
call
very
it before
thin.
to see what the legality of this is, see what I'm supposed to do. Really desperate if it's
Oh.
here to look for food. I think the entire creek system in the way back to the property is dried up now. It looks like it
I
came
will
over
get
here
free.
to eat this chicken for sure. It definitely ate one of our roosters. I've never seen
Oh.
anything like this happen before on the farm. I'm glad he didn't go after any of the pigs or anything like that, but it makes sense because that coyote was really small. This drought has affected all of our animals a little bit differently. Look at those vultures over there.
Manx
I'm really stopped to think
flies
about how
out.
it affects the wildlife.
Manx
But when I think about
flies.
it, it makes sense. We have a little pond here.
Flies.
Little ducks here. Just the smell of the feces of all of my animals must bring in every coyote
Manx
from a 20-mile
flies
range.
away.
And really all this boils down to is the change in the habits of the
As
partridge.
quick as quickly as she could. As quickly she could. Not changing. Not changing back to human. Not back to human when she lands on the
It
ground.
makes sense that during the day
She
the
lands on
coyotes
the
are moving
ground.
up from the already dry
She
creek
lands on the
systems
ground.
looking for water and food in my
But
property.
rather-
They're going out during the day to hunt my chickens.
Rather
Very,
taking
very,
it.
very weird. I'm gonna call our
But
local game
rather-
warden and see what I need to legally do you about the situation.
But
We do
rather
not have a
taking the
permit for
form,
coyotes specifically
but
or
rather
other
taking the
rabies
form
vector
of a,
species yet. Don't want to be breaking any laws. I'm going to give it fresh, clean water. But I'm going to lock
but
this up
rather
and
taking the
notify it
form of a,
anything else. Yeah, guys, a normal, healthy coyote would never act this way. It would jump right over the fence. It would be showing me its teeth. It would not have let me corner it and catch it that easily. Thankfully, all of our animals are safe, thanks to Kevin, honestly. And I miss getting this on video, but the first thing I saw when I walked out was Kevin chasing me.
rather,
Thankfully, DeBaby and this turkey are safe.
rather
So go ahead and
taking
give
the
these guys some
form
food real quick.
from
DeBaby,
of
I hope
a
you weren't a little too scared of that
dog,
coyote.
a cat.
Sorry, I was a little
What would she take the
unprofessional. Let's have
form of?
coyote here. If you guys are wondering, this is why Poggers and Queen have been hanging out under the foundation of the home. There's an open pool of water here from the AC exhaust. You can see it's significantly colder under there. While Poggers and Queen are having a nice cool spa day under
Rather
here.
taking the form of a mouse. Rather
Coyotes
taking the
just
form of
running
a
amok
mouse.
on our property. So this heat is even affecting the performance of my workers. Thankfully, the only thing it killed was
So
one
she
of our
can
20
move.
unnamed roosters.
So
I
she
am
can
going to
move
Big
quickly.
House
So she
back
can move
inside,
quickly.
because who
So
knows
she can move
where those other
quickly.
boys are. We had one coyote running around. Chances are there's probably more. That's why I can't leave
Oh,
these guys outside.
those capybaras are so
We're
cute.
trying to do wildlife rehab, and I don't want to
Hello,
kill
Joe,
them. It's okay.
Joey 47771. Welcome to the chat. As they are both video game characters, I'm not giving up Joker. Joker and Harley are made for each other literally as they are both video game characters. Literally video game characters. I'm not a video game character, Joker.
Sounds like I can legally go ahead and take that coyote and give it some water and then put it in the back of the property. I'm going to make sure that I'm not breaking any laws. Take care of him. We're going to take him to the back, let him go, see how he does. And one more thing, he ate one of the chickens because this door was open and came in here and felt comfortable at this little spot. And when the sun came up, it didn't know how to get out.
They're just animals trying to survive. It doesn't matter how annoying they are. Sure, there's better alternative ways to dealing with coyotes than just shooting them. Did you know Lady Gaga will play Harley in the next Joker movie? Yes, I did know that. And I'm not against the idea. I mean, I like Lady Gaga's music. I wonder how she'll be doing acting. Already watched it. Now, what am I gonna? Game over. What am I gonna want? The PS3 is the ultimate Crash Bandicoot machine. Well, I'm glad I've got a PS3 then. Wait. She's already acted well in several movies. I didn't know that. Wait. What games can I play on Crash?
For years now, the one thing I've wanted from modern platforms is for the original Crash Bandicoot games to be playable. New PlayStation.
That would be cool.
Not only that though, but
It depends on the PS3 model.
Any PS3, no matter what the model is, will allow you to play all of your PS1 discs. Even if you don't have the discs, you can still buy them on the PlayStation.
What, really?
Although I'm pretty sure that's
I want to play Crash to Insanity.
It was supposed to be last year, but they extended it.
Joker, you're a video game character. You belong in the game. Here's my response to that, my dear.
So you might want to buy them now while you can. But you can buy those games on the PS Vita as well.
Wait.
Let's play the PS2 Crash games. Again, if you have this model here, you can play any of your PS2 games.
Twinsanity.
So play Nitro Kart, Twinsanity, Tag Team Racing.
Maybe there's a PS3 version of it? How to play Crash Twinsanity on PS3? How?
As opposed to the PS2 versions. But either way, the amount of Crash games you can play on this one system.
Wait, what?
It's got basically everything.
What is this?
PS4 games, obviously. And I will say, PS2 games played on the PS3 look absolutely amazing. The thing is, though, personally, and I think most people will agree with this,
I need to
I'd
get
much
some more
rather just have
PS3
it work on
games.
PS5. Not everyone has these old consoles, not everyone has space to set up multiple consoles, which is why I'm really happy with what Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo are doing right now. They're making their older games playable on their newer systems so that you don't need all these things set up. One day, and it might take a couple years, but there'll be a big library of older PlayStation games playable on the PS5. That might include the Crash games. Nintendo are currently adding Nintendo 64 games to the Switch. Hopefully,
As you
at the
needed
rate
to
that
continue
they're
the story
going,
walkthrough, I'm not a video game
Play
character,
ahead
Joker.
by 2050, possibly even gaming. But that's
Oh, if only you were.
So I don't think my 64 setup anymore at this point, basically. And the Series X has tons of back.
I'm gonna check some Candy Carrots out. Candy Carrots. I love this guy. Cash Banuka.
Greetings and salutations, my beautiful people, and welcome to the Cat Icarus Show, where I'm the dad makes you fun secrets of the slaughter sandwich. And sometimes you have to go back to a video in which you went back to a game. So essentially what we're doing is going back to a thing where I went back. And this thing that we're going to go back to is a game series I covered nearly 4 years ago on this channel. And it's one of my favourite
Why
franchises
does
of
he
all
care?
time.
Why does he care so much?
Crash
Why
Bandicoot.
does he care so much about?
Or as my girlfriend's youngest daughter Amy used to call it, Cash Banuka. Here's the thing, guys. Since I've now stopped doing Caddy's
why does he
retrospectives
care
and
so
all the
much
other
about
pointless
me?
hundreds of shows that I've been doing over the years,
that
and
haircut!
I've not uploaded my early videos to any degree at all, I felt like going back to a couple of my
It's
videos, a couple
strange.
of games I covered all those years ago, and giving them a fresh take. I didn't really like the detail I went into or anything like that, so I wanted to go into a little bit more depth and revisit a few things. Not all of the games I covered in the past, but some of them. And as it turns out, with the PS4 remade from the ground up Crash trilogy being announced at E3 recently, Crash was one that I always wanted to revisit and stick under the Cat Icarus banner once and for all, not on its own in a random retrospective playlist or part of a show that I don't do anymore, like under the Cat Icarus playlist with all the other stuff that I've done on Cat Icarus over the years. This doesn't mean that the old videos are going to be deleted, not at all. I'm just going to redo a couple of my thoughts on them. So you've got two now. Great. And without further ado, let's talk about Cash Banuka. What's that? Who's that? Are you talking about me? Crash, good old Crash. What should we call our competing platformer mascot from the PlayStation to Sonic and Mario? Naughty Dog cried out in the early 90s, and Naughty Dog replied to themselves, how about we make him a bandicoot and name him after the thing he does? What? What thing that he does? We haven't even made a game yet. Well, what does he do? Well, you know, what he does. In the game. Yeah, but we haven't even started making the game yet, so what does he do? Does he wank? No, there's a game that's either everywhere. Is it wank?
You and Harley are made for each other, Joker.
He runs, yeah, and he jumps.
You just think that.
And he crashes into things. Great Bandicoot! So Naughty Dog had the name, they had the idea, and what did they do with it? Make a story about an idiot with jeans, big shoes, and a belly button who was created by a guy called Dr. Neo Cortex for his animal army. Yeah, it's that guy. Hello. But then Crash escaped as bumbling idiot with jeans, big shoes, and a belly button would do. And so to get him to come back, Cortex does the next best thing and captures Crash's girlfriend Torna, even though she's clearly free to roam around the fucking trees for you to high-five at your leisure. And eventually, as you progress through this simple game consisted of 3 very different islands with different themes of levels present on them, you start to notice that the closer you get to the looming and sinister Cortex castle in the background of a few stages, the more natural and sprawling beautiful PS1 jungles become darker, more sinister, turning into hidden temples and roads to nowhere. Literally. And everything succumbs to being completely industrial. And it's subtle little details like that mixed in with the bombastic and first-rate production values that caught everyone's eye who didn't have it on the PlayStation straight to the PlayStation. That, and well, how could you not look at this fucking thing? What even is it? I'll tell you exactly what it is. It was a success before this game was even made. What I mean to say is that Crash meant business so much that, like I said, it tried to appeal to PlayStation fans and attract new ones from all ages with the extreme juxtaposition of it all. And with that, meaning anyone could pick it up, play it, and love it. The game has a simple premise: save your loved one and stop the evil industrial man polluting nature and taking over the animal brains and therefore the world. Yet for the time, it looked organic, vibrant, really damn polished and incredible, with a kick-ass atmosphere atmosphere-driven soundtrack. It had
In
one of the
her
simplest
eyes.
control schemes ever implemented into a
In her
3D
eyes, that
platform with even
only-
less commands than most
only
SNES
caused
2D
the
games.
trouble.
Move, jump, and
Only
attack.
caused
Yet
the
the
trouble.
difficulty,
caused
both
the
for late
trouble in
stages
the
and optional
past.
completion bonuses, was strenuous to say the least. This game wasn't as complex, huge, or daunting as Super Mario 64 before it, and in my opinion, not a better game. I honestly prefer Super Mario 64, but for a game
Fuck's on you! Crash was awesome! Fuck Mario. Even Batman says, I'll stop her and then her boyfriend, meaning you and Harley are a couple. Why else would Bat say that if you weren't a couple? One-sided love? Snot hair clown.
get people interested in Sony's little grey lunchbox. It was bite-sized yet detailed, easy yet hard, simple yet beautiful, and genuinely well designed to boot. You can run around linear yet dense 3D stages, grab 100 Wumpa Fruits for an extra life, save yourself from instant death with 2 extra hit points from Aku Aku, and then go invincible on the third grab without getting hit, being able to run a bit faster, kill every enemy and smash every box by just touching them. Then there's the bosses and the occasional vehicle segments. Well, pig segments.
What are you
It's all
doing,
good, clean
Crash?
fun. This isn't though. This will get you arrested. Fun fact. Did you know Sonic's ass? Okay, the game is called the fucking Sonic's Ass Game.
Sonic's
because you've been playing the quintessential ideas of a 2D game.
It is a little bit
behind
like
the main
Sonic.
character everyone knows. There's everyone talks about it. Even I talked about it on my first video on Crash Bandicoot, and then I talked about it in a fucking game on Digital Gaming. So basically, you need to get off my course and get me out of this fucking well. I'm stuck. That's why there's an echo in here all the time. Help me. I'm desperate and I'm hungry for dinner. How about fish and chips? You also know Crash's original name was Willy Wombat.
Now, as I've stated before, as far as Crash Bandicoot
Oh.
goes, I love the little dude. He's home to some of my top 50 games ever made. But here's the thing, when I was a kid, I actually didn't play this one first. I played Crash 3 first, and then Crash 2, and then Crash 1. So to compare the feeling, it's kind of
Joker,
like
your
eating
hair looks like a
chocolate
snot colour,
gâteau,
Joker. Did someone snot rocket
then
at your
a
hair,
digestive
Joker?
chocolate biscuit, and then a brick.
What I'm trying to say is that Crash 1 may have been a PlayStation revelation and a lovely
Do you
brush of
find
art.
that very
I
insulting?
love the little dude. He's home to some of my top 50 games ever made. But here's the thing, when I was a kid, I actually didn't play this one first. I played Crash 3 first, and then Crash 2, and then Crash 1. So to compare the feeling, it's kind of like eating a chocolate gâteau, and then a digestive chocolate biscuit,
And Megs
and
was
then a
much.
brick.
What I'm trying to say is
And
that
then
Crash
she's
1 may
much
have been a
younger.
PlayStation revelation and a lovely breath of fresh air
Around-
to all games that 3D games didn't have to be
around
all
7
complicated
years.
and flashy. Oh, look at me with my dragon that was stung by a wasp and my fancy controller that makes you run anywhere you want to because I have a big central knob. But unfortunately, Crash
And
1
she
might
was-
have been dated by
she
quite
was
a while.
bullied,
Is it still
right?
playable?
She was bullied,
Is it still
right?
fun? Absolutely. Is it something
Well,
I'd
that
recommend
must
you
be
drop
for
absolutely
her.
everything you ever owned in your life to pick up a
For her
randomly
kind
slightly
nature.
rare double-jeweled black case edition of the game?
She was bullied relentlessly
Oh,
for
yeah,
her
yeah. The
kind
thing with Crash
nature.
is that you can tell by just looking at him that he's a bit of a
Kind
humpy,
nature.
dumpy, grumpy, dumpy fuckhead, and the
No.
glowing grace his control maybe used to
No
have doesn't work
nature.
out so well anymore. He's a heavy
Not for
bugger,
nature.
and he isn't even fat. When you're running,
It
it's
didn't
fine, and when
help.
you're naturally jumping from one
It
thing to
didn't
another,
help
it's
that she
fine. But the
was-
second tiny platforms or odd
that
third
she was
person
a
perspectives
shape-
and tight spaces get involved, it can be
She- that she
terrifying
was
with
a
how
shapeshifter.
solid Crash's jumping is. Every time you
The
jump, you
back.
feel as though Crash is being lifted by puppeteer strings and either being
Even
dragged into
back
the air
then.
too far or not dragged
Back
far
then
enough.
too.
You get some string,
She was
attach it to a
secret.
thing, and then try to naturally jump from
Back
one small
then
thing to
too.
another small thing in one movement. It's taken me 10 years to try and describe how the jumping feels in this game, and I feel that's as accurate as I'll ever be, so take it or leave it. And it's that control style that with some of the most backwards and dated progression I've ever seen in a game like this that makes me never really recommend Crash 1 to everyone I ever speak to about it. I think I made it very clear a few years ago that when I was younger, I spent a preposterous amount of time crying, screaming, kicking, and shoving things up my bum because of how nonsensical some elements of can be. Some stages like Slippery Climb, or as I like to call it, fuck you, are made unbelievable.
Yeah, the ultimate Crash fuck you level.
Bouncing off of
Batman
enemies
even
onto
claimed
bars
Harley
with
is your
platforms
girlfriend.
and other enemies. Let's
As there
just
is
say
no
Crash
other
is
woman
a
in the
little
game
too
aside from the
close
news
to
report or the
position.
female
Nice
doctors.
start.
I don't
And then
care.
Slippery Climb while getting a gem for it. Where do I start? Here's the thing, Cash Banuka has gems to get in the game. And when you get the gems, you can not only build a bridge to completely bypass the last boss, but also use coloured gems to revisit old levels and find more hidden boxes and platforming challenges to get that particular gem of that level. All good stuff if you ask me, nice incentive for optional difficulty or replayability. And without them, the game is very fun and comfortable for anybody to play with the odd injection of challenge. But in order to get the gems, you need to hit every single crate in a stage, including the deathly 3-second explosive TNT crates that Brio especially loves using so that
And Crash can't do a double jump, so that's extra fucky.
His bonus stages can sometimes be a nightmare, but all without dying once. Even if you die in the middle of a stage and have to go back on yourself to smash the rest of the boxes that respawn behind you after every checkpoint, by the time you reach the end, you'll still be booted right back to the map and will completely bypass the box counting screen anyway. And with this knowledge, getting every gem in Crash 1 can be one of the most challenging things you'll ever do on the PS1. Amazingly satisfying if you get it perfect, and most of the time the challenge I find fair, like
Careful,
the awesome
Crash.
hog riding segments. That shit feels good to perfect. And of course, tricky timing-based routes, they
Like
also
those
feel good
stupid
to perfect.
bouncing
Stages like Slippery Climb,
sucky
and
lemon.
that means, in essence, the final boss against Cortex is easier than the painful and arduous task of getting every gem in the game to skip him, so it isn't worth any effort at all, not even worth it for this goofy bloody face. Naughty Dog, what the hell was wrong with you back then? And what's even more satanic than that? Oh, I don't know. No ability to save the game at will. Nah, to do that, you either need to find all of the character tokens in a stage and beat the bonus challenge, or get a gem. How blooming backwards could you even get, Mary, Kate, and Crashly? Crash has a woman's face. And yeah, there are cheat codes, but if you're one of those people that thinks they can use the secret code to 100% the game to pretend that you're a 100% badass, I'm afraid you won't have the save file to prove it, because you've done everything in the game that will allow you to save normally. So joke's on you, and well played.
It's not like we're
In fact,
back
let's
there,
go back
though.
again to see my excited hairy head talk like a farmer about the time I beat this 100%.
And so I feel like I need to show you one of my greatest gaming accomplishments, because I have in fact beaten 100%.
God, he's
Crash
young
Bandicoot
there.
1. It's on the screen right now. It doesn't have a date on it, unfortunately, but that doesn't matter because I've actually beaten the game 100%. It was years ago, and I was a little boy. Look at that. It's Crash. It's his face. There's Crash. There's 100%. There's all the keys. There's all the gems. There's all of that. See? Select game to load. That is my memory card. So that is not a cheat. That is genuine. That is absolutely genuine. Oh God, many tears were shed, and many relatives were slaughtered in order to get that. I must say, I was a ruthless son of a bitch, I was. I'm a glutton for game frustration. I love it. Love a bit of game frustration. In my eye.
And this level of challenge could often make the easier stages feel like bloody
Makes-
demon souls, purely because of you being too scared to die, fail,
Makes
screw it
trying
up,
to
start the
block out.
stage again because there's no
Trying
point
to
finishing
block
it, or
out
maybe
the
even
voice,
finishing the
trying to
stage
block
perfectly,
out
but
the
then missing
voice,
just
as
a couple
she-
of boxes. Oh, great. Is it game? Great.
wanted
But
to
I missed one
focus.
box, so you cry yourself to sleep, you miserable bastard. And getting every gem also means unlocking the 2 hidden levels with the gems inside that are hidden behind the Cortex token bonus rooms that you must beat to grab the key. And you only get 1 shot per try of a level, and they're so hard. Damn it. All of this so I don't have to fight Cortex. Why? It's cool for an alternate ending, I guess, but it's just not worth it. But then you have to remember the little things. I mean, I've played this game so much in my life that this life crate in between explosive TNT, nailed it. And I love getting every box bounced on so perfectly over a pit. That feels good. As does the bounce sound effect in the game when you bounce on something too many times. You see, the pitch goes up with every bounce, and after a while it gets so small and tinny that you can't help but laugh at it. Oh, and I love the way that you can spin enemies off into other crates and enemies for
One of
for bonuses,
Pinstripe's
and that
goons.
ricochet noise is just heavenly.
That's cool.
It's also good how the level designs are very fun, very memorable, very varied, and were broken up in difficulty by the
Watch
bosses,
out,
which are
Crash!
meh. Even if it's pretty cool how most of them are
Joker, I'm glad I'm not in that part of the game like on the song. You're going to get away with this, Joker. You never do. You said that so many times, my dear, and it doesn't get any more exciting or fun. Honestly. Oh, really? Mm.
specifically marsupial animal experiments of Cortex, much like Crash. Papu Papu is a joke and also sounds like a brand of nappies. Ripperoo isn't easy, but damn, he's
Ripperoo's a dumbass.
pretty boring. Koala Kong isn't actually too bad, but could be a bit harder if you ask me. Pinstripe is just as pathetic as Papu Papu, which is sad since he has a fucking Tommy gun, but his fight is just about waiting and then attacking, and it is indeed.
It's still cool though. That laugh is cool.
Pretty boring. Brio actually managed to kill me. Wow, he actually did his job. Good work, Dr. Nitrous, bro. And Cortex is my favorite boss. Not too hard, but all reaction and memory based, and takes advantage of all of the Bandicoot's moves very well. They aren't great though. I actually like to look at them as more mini stages than bosses, which is good because the stages are really good. And everyone isn't just a stage, but rather another step in your quest. Depending on where you are on the island is where you'll be exploring on your way to Cortex. And it's clearly been built to be played as one big adventure. It's not just random stages for the sake of random stages. You are exploring these islands, even if it is broken up into stage-by-stage levels. And I love how different the platforming is tackled in the stages, like in the Foggy Bridges, where every second could be your doom with how unpredictable the bridge could be. Or the boulder chases that were implemented into Uncharted 4 in an ingenious little surprise. Or the swamps and tribal gates with slippery surfaces and enemies you need to mix up jumping and spinning with to get the upper hand.
She was
or
not.
factories
She was
in
not
woods with
born.
branching
She was
paths.
not born
Or in the
like
castle
this.
where you have to be
She's
quick to
not
keep your
born
light
like
going,
this.
otherwise
She
you'd be
didn't-
stuck in
she
darkness.
didn't
Or
even
temples with intermittent flames and
even
rotation
become-
platforms and bats everywhere. It's all solid
become
stuff,
one.
honestly. Whoa, camera, what are
Become
you
one,
doing?
yeah.
You've gone all drag.
But the point is, I can still look past a lot of the flaws in Crash Bandicoot 1 and just enjoy it as a quick once-around experience. It's still very fun to play today.
You told
It's
me about
awesome
love
to
in the
see the
dictionary.
humble
You never
yet
seem to
legendary
show that to
beginnings of
Harley
such a
Quinn, but she
giant
would show you
mascot
love and
platformer of the
affection.
90s.
Lisa.
And of course, it's sold nearly 7 million units to this day. So that's got to attribute to some kind of quality, I suppose.
Man sold
Harry Potter and the
the
Philosopher's Stone has actually sold more copies than this game, so yeah,
What?
that game. And for kickstarting one of my favorite franchises ever, and for coining the Aku Aku Invincibility song,
What a
today Cash Banuka gets the salvage.
great
Lovely.
game.
And if it's your birthday today watching this video, happy frickin' birthday to you. Please remember to stay beautiful. Oh, and by the way, you know that beginning bit of the game where you had to get all of those rows of boxes without falling down the bottomless pit and everyone seems to think it's fucking impossible? You know the bit I'm talking about. Yeah, that bit. It's piss easy. Shut up. Here's how you do it. What have I got?
You would steal flowers, not buy them, and who knows where they've been, Joker? I told you, Marty, I bought them with money I stole. I don't sound like Joker at all. I sound more like certain someone from Crash Bandicoot. Almost.
Well, I don't really deserve it at all because it's really fucking easy. Get a grip, people.
Hey everybody, the outtakes will be on in just a second, so please stay tuned. But first, I'd like to share a special thanks to you for watching this video, a special thanks to the Pixel Empire for sponsoring today's episode, and I have a very special announcement along with that. Everything today is very special. Anyway, along with the Pixel Empire offering you guys 15% off of any single purchase of these amazing gaming, TV, and movie wall prints using the discount code CANDY on checkout, but I also now have brand new and classic design shirts and hoodies from years ago, all on the Pixel Empire as well under the collections banner. And yes, the Candy discount code also works there as a special treat for this new launch. Currently, there's designs for Hideo Kojima, the legendary Limitless Luscious Lord Landing, Slaughter or Salvage, 2.5D, and of course my awesome new logo by Jan Animation Studios. That's where all of my merchandise will officially be from now on, and it won't be on the Etsy anymore. So please spread the word, and please have a look in the description for both awesome posters and awesome shirts and other stuff from myself. So
Now for the second game. Stole them.
It can be dangerously easy.
Unbelievable, man.
Greetings and salutations, my beautiful people, and welcome to the Karakura Show. I always have to do the dirty deed of deciding whether or not a game deserves to be slaughtered or salvaged. Oh, silly me. These aren't my real guns. These are just the paper things that my girlfriend's youngest daughter made me. That's cute.
but that's not going to kill
Look at him, he's been
anybody.
bawling his eyes out,
I
missing
need
it.
the real thing.
To kill people.
And welcome to the kind of continuation from my Crash Bandicoot 1 revisiting, straight onto Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back.
Oh,
Don't worry, it's a prop.
go
And if you want to see the
away,
first
just
video
go
I did on
away,
Crash
voice
Bandicoot
in
1,
my-
then go straight back in the description
Just go
and
away,
go and
voice
see
in
it.
my
But you
hand,
should
I'm-
also find out why I'm revisiting this
I'm not
beloved
in the
PS1
mood.
franchise in the first place. I've already done
I'm
videos
not
about
in
these
the
guys
mood.
before. And
I'm
also,
not in the mood for this nonsense.
it's another
I'm
thing
not
for
in the mood
me
for
to
this
watch.
nonsense.
You haven't seen it. I don't know what the fuck you want from me. And without further ado, let's keep talking about
Ooh.
Cash Banooka.
What's next? The chocolate's poison or Joker toxin in the chocolate? Not trustworthy.
One that not only got an entire new audience with the Sony toilet seat, but also sold unbelievably well. And yeah, I think the game is dated beyond belief, but I'm so happy that it did well because in just over a year after the original, one of the best sequels was ever released. Cash Banooka 2, Gringotts Steakhouse. But how good was this game? Well, I don't need to tell you. I'll just let one of the trailers do it for you.
Wow, that was intense. Whew. I just flew in from the new ruins level, and boy, are my arms tired.
What can I say except delete it?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was funny stuff.
This Crash Bandicoot
Wow,
is fucked
funny
up.
stuff.
Stop! Crash, stop!
And now,
He doesn't speak English.
again.
I'm sorry, but I just don't get this. Take a character with no voice at all, give him a voice,
Crash does have a voice. He just does not really speak English.
and make him Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Whoa.
He talks a little
Good
bit.
thing I'm not wearing tight pants, because they would have ripped for sure. Woo.
Good thing I'm wearing this cushion because my eardrums would have burst for sure.
I am not an animal. I am Crash Bandicoot.
Not trustworthy as you're sneaky to do that sort of thing, Joker.
Moving on, Crash 2 took all of the fundamentals from the first game and all of the basic mechanics, such as the Aku Aku hit point and invincibility system, different kinds of boxes
made
to
it even
break,
better.
Wumpa fruit, spinning and jumping on enemies and boxes, and the same kinds of right angular yet flowing level designs. Yet it tweaked everything from the controls, speed of the gameplay, content and obstacles within the level designs, visuals and soundtrack to make it 100 times more satisfying and snappy than the first and make it feel like a proper evolution from what one had established. So there's a new game with a new budget and new fans, meaning there's new things other than tweaked gameplay, and one of the newer things this time is a deeper story with full voice acting and a couple of cutscenes, apart from Crash, of course, who, if he opens his mouth,
He's back.
needs to be put down. And the story begins right after
Oh,
Crash
darling.
1, with Cortex falling from his hoverboard after Crash beats him and he falls straight into the islands from the first game. And that is, of course, assuming you actually fought him in the first game, because if you got all the gems, then you missed his boss battle and escaped with Torna without ever touching him. So I guess in that case, he just fell out of his ship one day a hunting, landing in a temple where crystals are buried, to which he has a realization to himself and says,
Of course.
"Of course, what?" Well, I'm sorry that I upset you, Cortex. Apparently, this actually means Cortex can use the crystals to repower his space station and take over the world, but in order to do that, he needs someone to help him, and with his animal army disbanded after Crash brutally slaughtered them. Although Rickaroo comes back in this game, so maybe there's something else a bit fishier going on here.
Meanwhile,
Crash and his sister Coco are chilling out when she sends Crash off to grab a new battery for her laptop when he's unexpectedly taken away by
And she never got her laptop. Whoa, Crash Bandicoot. Hmm. Mhm. Have you heard of the Pocky Challenge? Something Joker would do. What is that? Meg's stubborn as ever. Ignores the voice now. Ding, ding, ding. Have you heard of? I'm not sure what that is. What is the Pocky Challenge?
None other than Cortex himself, who then tells Crash that he needs him to get all these crystals in order to save the world from being destroyed by an old colleague of his.
Yeah.
But you know, on the account
Trust
of
the
my
obviously
girlfriend
evil
trying to kill us multiple times in the
scientist.
last game, and this game being subtitled Cortex Strikes Back. I'm not even than Cortex himself, who then tells Crash that he needs him to get all these crystals in order to save the world from being destroyed by an old colleague of his, Brio. But you know, on the account of him stealing my girlfriend and trying to kill us multiple times in the last game, and this game being subtitled Cortex Strikes Back. I'm not even slightly trusting him, and I'm just going to do nothing. Yeah, no boxes, no bloody crystals. See how you like that, fathead.
Fathead.
All secret.
Crash, I said bring me the crystals. Now,
Mouse me. Mouse me. Not listening.
Well, gee, sorry. Not really. I'm going to do it all again and not get the crystal.
no, Crash. To save the world, I need crystals. Crystals!
Okay, fine.
Can that mouth get any bigger? No. Give me crystals. What the hell is that? Oh, it's something related to kissing. When one person eats from one end and another person eats from the other end, the first one to back off loses. So that's what it is.
The thing with this story is that even though it isn't the focus, so it isn't the issue, it could have been way better by just doing one thing. Not telling the audience what Cortex's plans were before we even see Crash. I'm not joking here. After he falls from the sky, we see him with the crystals, and then him talking to new character Engine about how he needs an enemy's help to grab the remaining crystals and rebuild his station. So from the very start, there's no mystery whatsoever. Then when Brio comes in telling you to grab the gems instead of the crystals to beat Cortex, you believe him immediately, and you know that everything Cortex says is all lies from the start. If only they hadn't revealed his plan straight away, you could have thought that he had turned a new leaf, and he could have pitted you against Brio much easier. And every time that Coco intercepts to tell Crash that Cortex is lying wouldn't be completely...
I don't want to rate that.
Listen, redundant, because then we wouldn't actually know who to trust until the big reveal happens, and it turns out the bosses were all sent by Brio trying to stop Crash from delivering the crystal to Cortex, and it could have been a lot better, honestly. But like I said, it's not a focus, luckily. It just pisses me off because everything here is completely redundant. We know that he's lying, so why the hell would we control someone who doesn't think that he's lying? Now, even though it's still fun and entertaining, the story isn't why you're here. The game truly shines with how it plays. Like I said, all the fundamentals and ideas from Crash 1 were here, but it was not only tighter to play with much less heavy control and dopey jumping, but the level designs took every step towards fixing and expanding what 1 already had. It was the same basic game, linear 3D platforming stages based in the wild and industrial locations with a splice of corridors and side-scrolling with a big variety of obstacles and enemies to jump and spin through before reaching the end, yet the levels were more densely compacted with stuff, along with the newly added crystals that you need to get to carry on. There's more things going on here, and more things to avoid, and more things to think about when approaching them, and split decisions to make when in the middle of engaging whatever it is that you've approached. And the tighter controls and more responsive jumping made it all a lot more fast-paced. There's a lot less waiting, planning, and terror than in Crash 1, and a lot more action, more doing things. But that doesn't mean you aren't playing a totally different game. Look, there's still the bonus games that you don't need to find tokens with or complete to save the damn game along with grabbing a gem. You just hop on the platform and zip straight to it to tally up your total box count for the gem on that stage and grab a ton of lives on your way to do it. Not to mention get a variation of music based on what gorgeous area you're exploring. My only real question is, where's Torna in any of these? Save her life in the first game, she can't even be fucked to come back and support her boyfriend. What a cow. Oh, and yes, I did say earlier that you don't need to finish a bonus stage or get a gem to save the damn game, because in a stunning revelation, you can save anywhere you want to, whenever you want to, my blooming badger. And you could save the game in the war room, the central hub, a new addition to the Crash formula. It's very sad how you no longer feel like you're going on a giant quest as you travel on an island from one stage to another, but to be honest, it is completely compensated with the ability to pick how you want to progress every 5 stages in any order that you want to without being stuck on one stage forever, and have a compact and faster way of revisiting older stages without needing to go on a fucking marathon. Also, with all the new locations from the deepest reaches of space to the dankest of sewers, I guess it wouldn't make much sense to have it all play out in one cohesive manner. And for all of the new stuff,
I'm not Joker's properly. Let go of me, Joker.
where do I even start? At the beginning, probably.
Visually, it's sharper and more detailed than ever before. I especially love the footprints on the snow, Crash's breath in the cold air, spotlights following each character in Tiny's boss stage, and this creeper head that follows you and breathes fire.
They must have eaten a barbecue for lunch.
In keeping to the original Naughty Dog plan of making an interactive Warner Brothers cartoon,
Yeah, destroy it.
Crash also has more of a personality now without needing to speak, by performing new idle animations, new running animations like when escaping from the boulder, and a few new death animations which are rather joyous to watch, especially in the Polar Bear stages. Along with the tightening of the controls, there's also the new moves Crash has and the new level styles. The pig stages have changed into the much faster and tighter Polar Bear rides, which are 1,000 times more fun to play and a lot less jerky. And the jetpack stages, which I hear people complain about all the time and say that they're stupidly hard to control, but look, it's a little stiff, I guess, but really, everyone, it's not that hard. For the new moves, Crash can monkey swing in the stages that need it and dig underground to shield himself in the stages that need it. But for every stage that it could apply, Crash could now crawl. And the crawl itself isn't 100% useful, but the slide when you crouch while running, and the following slide...
Stop massaging me, Joker. It's weird. Ouch. What lab? What lab? Maids had little to no memories. Memories of those times. What lab? What lab? What lab are you talking about? Whoa! Only 33%. No, I don't like it at all, Joker. Stop doing that to my best friend.
Jump you can perform for extra height and distance is so useful, almost like the long jump from Mario 64, in that you can get really good with it and bypass platforming challenges as a reward for mastering it. And if you haven't mastered it yet, the game itself endorsed it as a central mechanic, with bonus stages encouraging or forcing you to use it with no risk of losing lives, because you don't lose any lives on a bonus challenge. And every stage slowly introducing it as an easier or more efficient or effective way to progress if you are brave enough to risk it. It also just feels good to do, so shut up. Oh, and by the way, in case you want it, analog control is now a thing. not only allowing full speed and free movement control of Crash with walking and 360-degree turning, but you can also quickly switch from the joystick to D-pad straight away for a natural transition from 2D segments to 3.
It's a
You know
touch
what else
from
is a
the
natural
first
transition?
game.
This soundtrack. Do I need to talk about the soundtrack here again? It's one of my favorite PS1 soundtracks of all time, and I've talked about it more than I have any right to, so instead let's insert my top 20 video segment here. The branching paths even come back and are indeed back with a vengeance. They're in a lot of stages this time, and most of the time they're alright, but in other stages like the pits, the pits.
You can clearly see, best friend, I do not like it.
The camera doesn't move back far enough for you to see what's coming up
I'll
towards
try and make
the
him
edge of the
stop.
screen. And I know this isn't a limitation because the returning boulder chasers nailed the camera angle, so what's going on here exactly? With the camera angle being the way it is, the game would have been way better without it, or just fix the camera angle. I mean, fuck's sake. Anyway, crystals were new, and gems came back by needing to break every crate in the stage, including these new horrific nitro crates that explode the second you touch them. Look at how evil they are. Damn. And to destroy them, you needed to hit these green exclamation crates, and it's immensely satisfying. Yes, that's for giving me so much shit, you fucking
Wasn't
great
I
boxes.
born?
And even though you don't need to worry about
Wasn't I
dying
born
once to
with-
attempt a gem run, and all box
born with
breaks
my
are saved up
powers?
until the most recent checkpoint,
Wasn't I
thank
born with my
fucking god,
powers?
it isn't actually easier to get them in this game. There are a ton more gems this time around, a minimum of 1 per stage for sure, but most of them now have 2 per stage. Some are the coloured gems that allow you access to other hidden routes and other levels, which give you more boxes to break.
Get
to
your
the
filthy
gems
hands off me,
that
Joker.
level. And some
I'll
are now
slap
the
him.
gray gems that are secretly hidden away. And the coloured gems are secret enough. I mean, to get this one here, you need to find a secret exit in a totally unrelated stage and then beat the challenge that you're given. And then with the blue gem you saw me get earlier, you need to do stage 1 without hitting a single box.
Crash is moving like Usain Bolt, or whatever his name is.
With the other random gems, there's a load of other ways to get them. One of the ways is with the new death route, the substitute prize for not dying in a stage. If you reach it without dying once, you get given an ultra hard route to complete that not only has more boxes to break for the level gem, but also rewards you with another grey gem for beating it. Awesome additional challenge and an awesome added reward for definite, and a lot cooler of a reward for not dying than being able to reach a box counting screen and potentially even save your damn game. And the other way is through the secrets, and my god, the secrets are literally everywhere. You can get hidden warp pads to a hidden warp room, which takes you back to old levels, but on a death route in order for you to either get a normal or coloured gem. You get wall clipping secrets, secret holes to fall into, secret timed races to the end of a level that don't show up unless you're quick enough to make it that far to show up. They're literally everywhere. And I've also heard people complain that they're a little too hidden, but to be honest, the level of detail in Crash 2 is so high that I think it's pretty obvious which areas or warp pads are secret, apart from, of course, not hitting
Lisa
a box.
seeing it hurt, but Joker will not let go of her.
I don't know, you can just tell.
I'm not gonna let go of you, my dear. You are
when it comes to try
mine.
exploiting something in the game. Like, why would all of these nitro crates be here if nothing was behind them? Why would there be a small staircase of nitro boxes here if you can't touch the nitro boxes in the first place? Why is this the only bridge in the bear and boulder chases that doesn't fully break when they fall down? It's very subtle, but subtle enough that you feel like a genius for figuring it all out, and it's way deeper and more engaging optional and replayable content than what Crash 1 has. Also, looky here in the secret warp room, the old islands from Crash 1. It's cute. And the multiple endings are back with every gem needed to help Rio blow up.
You
Cortex
cringe
once more.
clown.
As a kid, this was a way cooler ending than Crash 1's hidden stupid ending, but still worth it. I don't know. The challenge is a lot more fun to 100%, but I do think it needed a little bit more for a great ending to make it all feel worth it. The secrets even extend to the warp room, where you get rewarded with a shit ton of lives for jumping on a baby polar bear's head. I never thought animal abuse would be so encouraged on the PS1. Look here, even when running away from a bigger bear, the game still makes you kill a few of them for your selfish ends, even to the point of them trying to save their baby that you stole from them, and you responding by just dropping them down a hole like fucking Mufasa. I honestly don't get all of this polar bear talk. It's kind of horrible.
Jeez.
Fuzzy's help. What are you going to do to that?
He's wriggling the eyebrows again.
No, you wouldn't. No, Crash, think about it. Think of the consequences. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Fine. Fine.
Oh, but if you want me to talk about something I really don't like in this game,
go and
the
see
ice
him.
physics. Oh my
Oh,
god,
go
I
and
tell
see
you, the
him.
fucking ice physics, man. For
Fine.
some reason, they are
Go
so
and see him.
For some reason, and I have no idea why, but Crash 2 has some of the
Resi-
heaviest ice physics I've ever played in a video game. So heavy and so
Recognition.
momentum carrying that if you hit a stationary metal block at high speed, when you jump without pressing any direction after you hit the block, Crash veers off to whatever side he was carrying the momentum. It's so easy to pick up speed, but nearly impossible to
She
slow
was
down.
worried.
It's hard to steer, and all of this
She was
wouldn't be a
worried
problem. I
about
mean, it is ice, except some of the stages are coated in ice from the start
becoming
to the
human
end,
again.
including the horrific
Human
death route in
again,
Cold
so
Hard Crash that
close.
requires times, going back and forth through the
So
entire
close
ice space
to
level with
the
insta-kills
station.
everywhere multiple times to finish. Oh, and the bosses? Much better than before, but again, nah. Ripperoo comes back and is way more aggressive than Crash 1, with him planting TNT and nitro crates haphazardly before blowing himself up. A cool concept, and loads of people panic as soon as it starts and die quite a few times, but it's easy enough for a first boss once you get it. The Komodo Bros were a fucking joke, and most of the boss involves standing still. Yeah, I'm very threatened. Tiny Tiger is another awesome concept and involves a lot of moving, and he's kind of like...
Old timer senior. What year was Joker living in, best friend? I don't know. 1960s, 1950s, the 40s. Mm-hmm. I believe the 1960s is that's the oldest. You've got to be kidding me. Megs grumbles, and shifts herself back to a human. And lead the way, boys. Lead the way, boys. 50s timeline. Go back to the 60s, Joker. Mm-hmm. Fitzy's timeline. Go back to the 60s, Joker.
Ripperoo from Crash 1 with the stage layout and how he jumps around, but with you needing to lure him into falling platforms. Only problem with this is that it can take a long time if you aren't quick enough to know what's going on. Engine is the best boss bar none, but still not that amazing. His patterns are a little bit too slow and easy to read, and he takes a little bit too long if you ask me. And to be honest, if his giant flying mech suit can be destroyed with fucking Wumpa through being thrown at it, then he needs to seriously reconsider his battle strategies. And Cortex is the worst Crash boss ever. Yes, worse than Papu Papu, because at least he can fucking hit you. All you do is fly towards him, avoid rocks and mines, and hit him 3 times before he reaches the end of the track, and you have to keep trying until you do it, and it's total shit. It's total shit. But then what can you expect when your final boss is Mr. Krabs? No, I'm not joking. That's Clancy Brown doing Cortex's voice. It's stopping Mr. Krabs.
I don't care about the children. I just care about their parents' money.
But to sum up, Crash 2 is exactly how Crash describes it right here. He's great. It's one of the most polished and excellent sequels to any games I've ever played, so much so that if you haven't played Crash before, you could definitely skip 1 and go straight into this one. Compared to Crash 1 on subtle mechanical differences, it often feels like a totally different game.
Crap. Stepped out time. I might stop now.
It's pretty much smoother, and there's many surprises in
Good
the
time
whole
anyway.